Hey guys, welcome back to another video here on my channel and another Topic Tuesday. Most of you should probably know by now, but in case you don't, Topic Tuesday is just a series of prompts over on Instagram. I have it linked down below as well as my own personal Instagram. And every single week they just post new prompts that you can answer either on Instagram or here on YouTube. And my preference is just YouTube because I like to talk forever. So the prompt that I'm doing this week is, what are your favorite stamping tools? And I figure since I've been trying to stamp a little bit more lately and I just posted that huge declutter of my stamping plates a few weeks ago, this would be a good prompt to go into. And I'm thinking maybe I could do like a stamping rundown or like different ways to stamp or something like that in a video. So let me know if that's something you'd like to see from me, or if you're like, that's been done a million times and I don't care. So just let me know down in the comments if what your feelings are on that video. So in total, I've got about 7 tools over here and like a couple honorable mentions as well. And then there's something that I actually do want to get that I don't have that I'll talk about. And the first thing that I think is kind of like an absolute necessity when you're stamping is I really like these kind of like hand pump acetone bottles. And like this is a Remove Plus bottle. Like this one has Remove Plus in it. This one I used up and then I started putting acetone in here. I prefer to clean my stamping plates with this. I take the cotton ball and like my flat hand and like pump it. You can also use one of these. It's a cotton ball grabber or cotton claw. And these are also really handy, except that for me, I don't know what it is, but I feel like I have to grab it with my whole like fist like this and grab the cotton ball instead of like being just a little bit more dainty with it. So I struggle to use these when I'm doing a stamping manicure because I just grip my entire manicure within my hand to grab the cotton ball and ruin everything. So that's why I prefer to just use this like this. The next item on my list is a clear jelly stamper. I prefer a clear stamper because I like to be able to see through the stamp to know where it's going on my nails. I'm not very good at lining things up. So if I can't see through the stamper, so this one right here, I think is my first ever stamper. I think it came with, yeah, this one came with the first ever stamping kit I got. So I started with clear stampers, and then I did end up receiving a couple of these like not clear or opaque stampers. And I don't really like to use these when I'm stamping directly on my nail, but I have found a use for them, and that is using them to make decals or like doing like reverse stamping stuff, because I can just set these aside and paint on them and let them dry separately and then pull the decal off. So I do still get use out of these, but when I'm stamping directly on my nails, it has to be a clear jelly stamper or I cannot function. My next favorite tool is a certain type of scraping card. I like these smaller ones they're a little bit firmer. They don't have as much flexibility to them as like some of them that are like more credit card sized, or I even have these that are just a little bit bigger, but they are so much more flexible. And I just find that these, like when I'm scraping, I end up slipping a lot more easily. So I prefer the super firm, smaller cards to these like thinner, more flexible cards. And that's just a personal preference. I don't think that one is necessarily better than the other. It's just about what you're comfortable using. And I think it's just because my first scrapers were these are actually my first scrapers, were these little hard, small ones. That's just what I learned with. So that's just what I'm used to. Okay, so the most important tool, I think, to me in stamping would have to be a silicone mat. So this mat is from Bliss Kiss, but Maniology has one. I think Twinkled Tea has one. Maybe Maniology does have one, I think. I know Twinkled Tea does. But this thing has just really saved my tables. And with stamping specifically, it can get very messy just because you're scraping paint everywhere and you have to move fast. So you can't really think about, being extra careful. So this thing has caught so many messes for me. It's really indispensable. I am obsessed with this thing. I recommend these to anybody who paints their nails because it's really just gonna save you a lot on cleanup. Because I used to lay out like newspaper, magazine, napkins, whatever, and that gets really wasteful if you get the stuff so messy that you can't reuse it. Because I try to use like paper towel and stuff like that for like my nail polish stuff until it's really not usable anymore. Like, for example, I have, this one that I used yesterday for when I did the stamps on my hands, but I used it a couple times before that. And then, when this side gets too gross or bogged down with paint, I'll just flip it inside out and use that up just so that I'm not being so wasteful. And that's just my preference. I know that not everybody is able to do that sort of thing or doesn't like to do that sort of thing. So, no judgment here. I would prefer to use as little paper towel as possible because I don't like paying for it. So that's, and it's good for the environment, which I guess should have been my leading point, but I don't like paying for paper products. I don't know. But yeah, the mat. Really helpful. Get yourself one if you don't have one yet. So the next item on my list is something that's actually super easy to find. You can get it either at like Walmart, Meijer, Kroger, like any kind of a grocery store type thing, and that is just a lint roller. So these are kind of versatile for stamping because you can, if you get excess stamp around your nail, you can use this to kind of pick some of that up off your skin. I have pretty good luck with that. I don't usually use like any kind of a liquid latex barrier. Actually, I never use a liquid latex barrier because I'm allergic to latex. So, and the non-latex barriers, I feel like they're just not, they don't peel as well as I've seen the latex barriers peel. So I just don't mess with that too much. But yeah, that's good for your skin, good to use on your skin, or easy to use on your skin. And then the other thing too is if you have like, say you pick up a design, but you pick up more of the design than you wanted to, you can take your, I'm sure you've seen me do this in videos too, where you can take your lint roller and just pick up off of the stamper whatever piece you don't want to stamp on yourself. And if there's any excess design left after you have stamped, you just take it and you run it over and it picks up all that and you're ready to stamp again, which is really convenient. I know some people use tape. I just think that a lint roller is, you got your wand here, it's very convenient. And then once this gets too dirty, you can peel off the layer and you've got a clean layer. Whereas tape, you kind of have to finagle with. And I just think that it's just easy to have it in hand like this. The next thing, which I've heard, I'm sure you guys are so annoyed by hearing me like nonstop talk about, is the smudge-free top coat from Maniology. I don't know of any other brand that does a smudge-free top coat, so let me know if there's another one I should try out. But I really like this. It saves a lot of my stamping manicures from smudging. And I put this on, I give it like a 10-15 minute dry window, and then I put on my actual like glossy top coat over the top, and I haven't smudged a manicure yet. So like this is basically a miracle worker. And the last tool that I like to have with stamping is just stamping storage. I like dedicated storage for stuff. I like things to be organized and, not scattered about. And when I first started getting into stamping, the plates seemed like they'd be very easy to scratch. And so I needed something that I could store them in, that they weren't going to like bounce off of each other, especially when I had so few. And so I got a couple of these books, and they just have like, when you were a kid, if you collected like Pokemon cards or anything like that, they just have like dedicated slots for each individual plate. You can slide them in there and then flip through them, and it's super easy. You can organize them however you want, by season, by number, whatever. But then at the end of the day, you can always zip it back up, put it on your shelf, put it in a drawer, whatever. They are all consolidated together. And the one thing that I really do want to have for my collection is a huge stamper. They used to make this one, I don't know if they make it anymore, but it was the size of like a classroom eraser, and it was a big clear jelly stamper. I have to do a little research to see if I can find it. If I can, I will throw up a picture. But I feel like that'd be perfect for decals, reverse stamping, picking up massive designs and stuff like that. So that's really the one last thing I want for my stamping, aside from more cool stamping plates. So let me know down below what you guys think. What are your stamping essentials? What are your favorite brands for stamping tools? And what are your favorite tools in general? Let me know down in the comments and we will chat it out. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.